Good afternoon. Please, can you hear me? Good afternoon. Please, can you hear me? Bimbo Ikotun, can you hear me, please? Awesome, awesome. You are welcome, Martin Angila. You are welcome.
Thank you, Pink. I can hear you.
Yeah, welcome to DMM 5.0. So I am holding on for, Faith Oyawale. She's in a noisy place, but she will join us shortly. And so I'll kickstart the program and she will take it over. So from the beginning, we want to say a short word of prayer while waiting for our other people to join us. And so I just want to talk about why we started DMM. DMM stands for Digital Marketing Mastery. And it is basically to bridge the digital skills gap among Nigerian and African youths. You know, as citizens of Africa, we are concerned about the rate of unemployment among our African youths. And so this program is like an intervention to help our young people navigate the issue of unemployment by creating something for themselves, by learning new skills, and also leveraging on the technology space and also the digital space. So basically, that is why we run this program. And to the glory of God, we have been running it since December 2022. This is the 5th edition, and by His grace, we will continue. We are not tired. We are not tired until we are able to empower our young people for life and destiny. So basically, that is why House of Wisdom runs DMM. So for those of you who are wondering, that is a basic introduction of what we do at House of Wisdom. We do have other programs, but DMM is like our flagship program. And we run it every month. Every month we run it. So basically, that is like a background of what we do. And so we shall have our opening prayer. Let's just say a short word of prayer, and then we can introduce our first speaker. Father, in the name of Jesus, We bless your name. We give you glory. We give you honor. We give you adoration, Lord. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for what you are doing. Thank you for what you will still do. Lord, we bless you. Since we started DMN, you have been with us. And this is another program. Lord, we pray you will come and reign in this program in the name of Jesus. We commit all our devices into your hands, so Lord, that they will not malfunction. We commit all our speakers into your hands, so Lord, that you will use them mightily this afternoon to bless us, to bless our lives, to bless our destinies. Holy Ghost, come and have your way in today's program. Thank you, Lord Jesus. In Jesus' mighty name, we have prayed. Amen. Amen. Amen.
Amen.
So without further ado, we will get into our program for the day. And we are having the first speaker in the person of, let me see if she's in the house. She's not yet here. Okay. She's not yet here, so we can't introduce her yet. Okay, let's see. Okay, we will have a short talk. I'll just do a short talk, and then I'll try to get in touch with her on phone to see what would be delaying her. Okay, so like I said, I want to talk about our comfort zones and why we should aware of it. Our comfort zones and why we should be aware of. This is slated for the end of the program, but let me do a short talk and see if our next speaker is available. And so, some people are messaging me that they are trying to log on and it's giving them invalid ID. But I just told them that we are on live now, and so they can keep trying. Sometimes it's the network. So, and so, our comfort zones, what are our comfort? You know, basically, I've lived a life where I am always trying to escape my comfort zone. That has been my story. Because I didn't start life as an internet person. I didn't start life as a freelance writer. I started life as a journalist. But you know, as time went by, I just thought that, okay, this journalism, I love it. This journalism is working for me, but I wanted more. And I realized that if I wanted more, I had to get out of my comfort zone to be able to have more. I had to get out of my comfort zone to be able to have more, which is what I did. So what I did was basically, I started learning internet business. That was what I did. On the side, I did not leave my job because, you know, I had a family and then I had responsibilities financially. So there was no way for me to just quit and go like that. It wasn't possible. So I was doing the journalism work in City People. For Nigerians, they know what City People magazine is. And I was learning internet business on the side. So I did that for a bit. And then I started the business. I was making money from online stuff while still doing my work as a journalist. But it got to a point where I kind of became tired of the journalism. I wanted more. And I realized that for me to have more, I needed to step out of that comfort zone. So when I had my last boy then, called Israel, in 2007, I went on maternity leave for 3 months. So during the maternity leave, I was like, oh, as I am at home, this thing is sustaining me. Why do I want to go back to something that is not making me happy? That I should just put in my letter of resignation. And before making up my mind to put in my letter of resignation, I had attended a seminar at which a lady spoke. She owns Hangers and Cakes Boutique. I've forgotten her name, Tayo or something. So she also shared her story of how she was in the bank, working in the bank, and she was unfulfilled. She always had this dream of clothing women in an affordable way, and that she would leave her job, travel to Dubai, go and buy clothes, come back, and sometimes the business was affecting the job. So she was like, look, this thing we are doing, because it was a business seminar, she was trying to be real with us. So she was like, this thing we are doing, sometimes it's not easy to combine your day job with your business. That sometimes it takes courage, but you just have to do the getting out of your comfort zone by resigning. And I felt that what she said was true, because I was also getting to a point where there were clashes. I couldn't really manage what I was doing with my job. So on the day I was supposed to resume in August 2007, I couldn't sleep. I could not sleep in the night. I was just awake and I was praying and I was, oh my goodness. I was like, God, what do I do? But I had the assurance that I should quit. And I wrote my letter. On the day I was to resume from maternity leave, I dropped my letter. And my boss was like, but I've always coped. I said I could no longer cope with 4 children, that he should please release me. And he said, no problem. That was how I left. So we are still talking about comfort zone. Now, looking at me then and now, if I had not left when I did, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now, because I would still have been a journalist. I wouldn't have taken advantage of the technology space, the digital marketing space. I wouldn't have had experience in all that. I wouldn't even be doing what I am doing now. So talking about getting out of your comfort zone, I have done it severally. And I know that our growth lies in quitting our comfort zone. And part of quitting our comfort zone was the fact that I traveled to Ghana for a whole year alone, without family, alone. Because I needed to get a bearing for my life at a point in time. So sometimes, if I had not taken that trip, I wouldn't be doing House of Wisdom. Because that 1 year alone was like a retreat for me. And I had honest conversations with God about my future and where I was headed. And that is what birthed House of Wisdom. And so when we talk about your comfort zone is a curse, it is just the fact that it won't allow you to grow. And there is more within you than you are currently manifesting. Honestly, I honestly didn't know I had all this within me until I stepped out in courage with faith. To the glory of God, House of Wisdom was started on November 4, 2022. November 4, 2022. And when I look at the journey till now, I just see the hand of God. We couldn't have done this without God, seriously. We couldn't have done this without God. And so I'm just trying to tell you that sometimes your next level is in getting out of your comfort zone. Let's quit this mentality of, yeah, my father was a banker all his life. The current economy in which we run doesn't support that. People are doing 3-4 jobs. It's allowed. As long as you have the capability, as long as you have the skills. And so that thing you want is at the end of your comfort zone. If you want to stay where you have always been, you will not have results. Because there is a saying that insanity is doing the things the same way and expecting a different result. It's not going to happen. Even the children of Israel had to leave their comfort zone, which was Egypt, for them to get to the promised land. We can never get to the promised land until we are willing to step out with faith and courage. Until we step out in courage. So that is basically the thing about this comfort zone thing. Because without it, we will not be able to move forward. Some people are having issues logging on. I don't know why. And the fact that you guys have entered means they should also be able to attend. I don't understand. Even our next speaker has been messaging me that she's having issues logging on. Wow. I can't imagine what is happening. And I've been telling them to try again and again. Many people have been messaging me, but I believe it is well. So I'm still talking about this comfort zone thing. And you know, when you step out of your comfort zone, you give yourself an opportunity to grow. This thing I'm doing is making me grow seriously. And I was telling Martin earlier today, I said this entrepreneurship thing is nerve-wracking. And I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I don't think I had 4 hours sleep tonight. I don't think so. Because you are thinking of 1,001 things. But that is the only way to pray, to stamp your imprint in the sands of time. That is the only way to remain unforgettable. That is the only way to remain memorable. It makes you grow seriously because you are trying to manage people, you are trying to manage devices like Zoom, even YouTube. We wanted to use YouTube before. But when I saw all the challenges I had to face before being able to host it, I just reverted to Zoom immediately. It's not as if we won't do YouTube again, but I'll take my time to study it. Why am I sharing this? Stepping out of your comfort zone enables you to do what? To grow. If you stay at that job you have been doing for 20 years, you will still be doing the same thing. No growth. Because all your boss is interested in is results for his own business. And so he will expose you to skills that will make his own business grow. He will not expose you to skills that will make you grow. And so stepping out of your comfort zone gives you an opportunity to grow. Secondly, it enables you to learn about yourself. It enables you to learn about yourself. You will be able to know what are those things that make you fear, what are those things that you love doing, what are those things that make you stand out. You better understand you. That is what stepping out of your comfort zone does. Because when I went to that Ghana tree and I was alone for 1 year, almost a year, I was like, yes, I think I can stand alone now. Because I could do it then, it gave me what? An understanding of myself. I learned the things I could do, the things I could not do, and it helped me greatly. And so that's the second benefit of stepping out of your comfort zone. The third benefit is that it builds self-confidence in you. Because you're able to do stuff, you become confident. You become confident. This thing will work. You will tell people it will work. You are not afraid. It will work. It also increases your creativity. That's another benefit. But stepping out of your comfort zone demands a lot of courage. I don't lie. I know what we face doing this, as small as it is. But God says I shouldn't call it small. It's not small, it's big. Because something we've been running since December, I know what we face running this. But God has been faithful. And so it demands a lot of courage for you to step out to do anything. Even those of us that do business know what I'm talking about. Even our freelance writing business. It takes courage to even do cold emails. Because your mind is telling you 1,001 things. What if they reject me? Your mind is telling you so many things. So it takes a lot of courage to do it. It takes a lot of courage to do it. So, but once we can summon the courage, the sky is the beginning for us. The sky is the beginning for us. The sky is the beginning for us. And so, basically, doing something worthwhile, doing something memorable, stamping your feet in the sands of time, becoming unforgettable, demands a lot of courage. Demands a lot of courage. Demands a lot of courage. And it can be scary. It can be scary, I won't lie. It can be scary. Everything can be scary. Especially when you say, okay, I'm tired of this level. I want to move to the next level. It can be scary, but you can try your best to limit the fear by taking it one step at another. What am I trying to say? Don't try to do all things at once. Take it one step at a time. Because there's a bit of stress, there's a bit of anxiety with, doing something new. Because your mind is not accustomed to it. And our brains are designed to keep us comfortable. Our brains are designed to keep us stable. They love stability. They love stability. And so that is why you must take it one step at another. Don't rush. Don't rush. For instance, you want to leave your day job. Don't go and resign immediately. Plan. You can decide to start it on a part-time basis. Run it for a while, see if you start getting results, and then you can decide to resign. So that's one way to keep yourself out of too much fear when you are out of your comfort zone. So try to do what? to do it on a little by little basis, poco a poco. Don't rush things. Once that's what I did. I didn't rush to resign. I first started the business. I even had customers before I resigned because it gives you a safety net. You don't want to resign and have your children hungry. You don't want to resign and have your dependents hungry. And so you have to do what? You have to apply wisdom. You have to. So if you are here and there's something you've always wanted to do and you feel that on your last day on earth, you will regret not doing it. But as of now, you can't jump into it because you have financial responsibilities. I'm giving you a plan of action. Do it on a part-time basis. Run the show in the evening. Run your show in the evening. Challenge yourself. Give yourself 30 days to challenge yourself. You can run a 30-day challenge, whatever. Like when I started LinkedIn, I first did a 30-day challenge because it was new to me. I didn't even know what I was going to post. I just announced it that for 30 days, I was going to post every blessed day. And I did it. It was surprising that every day I had something to post. It was very surprising. Every day I had something to post. So getting out of your comfort zone enables you to change your routine a bit. Because you are used to a certain way of doing things, but getting out of your comfort zone will enable you to change your routine a bit. For changing my routine, what I used to do then, if I used to take a particular route to work, I'll change my route. That's what I used to do. I'll change my routes. So I'll change the routes just for me to spice it up so that it will not be boring. It will not be the same way. So shake yourselves a bit. Don't just let things be the same way they used to be. So face your fears, travel, do all sorts of things you love to do. Because at the end of the day, it counts. It makes you happy. It makes you happy. It makes you fulfilled. You know, one thing I've realized is that life is not all about money. Money is important too. But life is not about money. Life is more about fulfillment. You know, there was one studies that they did for people who were at the end of their lives and they were asking them what were their regrets. And some of them were like, they regretted not carving out time for family. Some of them said they regretted not expressing themselves enough, that is not standing up for themselves enough. They said all sorts. So you don't want to get to the end of your life and think back and say, I should have done this now, I should have done that now. No, do it now. You have an opportunity to do it. Do it now. But be wise about it. Don't rush things. Take it one step after the other. And I believe you will get the kind of results you want. So let me stop here and invite another speaker to speak. Another speaker to speak while we wait for our first speaker. So I want to invite our brother in the house from Kenya. I'm privileged to know him courtesy of LinkedIn. I bless the Lord for the day that I decided to be serious on LinkedIn. It has exposed me to so many people, including all the speakers in today's webinar. I met them all on LinkedIn. And Martin is one of them. So by way of introduction, Martin is a B2B SaaS content writer and strategist. He helps brands to create posts that define who they are and boost their revenue with actionable content. A thoroughbred professional, Martin is a master at the cold email pitching game. Interestingly, I started my freelance writing business with cold emails. So I understand when Martin is talking about cold email pitching. Although many people on LinkedIn will say, it's too hard, it's this, it's blah, blah, blah. But it's a powerful way to step into freelance writing. And that is why we invited him to come and teach us how to get high-paying freelance writing clients with cold emails. And what I want to say is, if Martin could do it, you can too. So without wasting time, I invite Martin Angila to the podium.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm honored to be here, by the way. I believe that what I want to share today is very, very important. I love that first. Whatever you have shared is very, very nice. And I think it's very, very critical to any youth that would want to have a good life or maybe just look for ways to grow in their lives. Yeah, so without wasting much time, I'll just go straight to what I'm about to share today. I don't know if I can share my screen so that maybe you can see what I have today. Let me see if I can do that just now. Okay. I don't know if Iyabo, you can allow me to share the screen, processing that it is disabled. I don't know if that is possible. Yes. Just a little bit. Okay, as we keep on waiting. Okay. Okay, let me just start. Okay, who am I? My name is Martin. As Iyabo shared, my name is Martin Angila, and I mainly do content. I write for B2B and SaaS companies, and that's my area of specialization. Okay, I think I can share my screen in just a moment. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see my screen. Just confirm before I keep going. Okay, yeah, so I'll be sharing about how to get high-paying clients for the base. My name is Martin Angila, and I'm a B2B SaaS writer. So let's get started. Who am I to get started? Okay, my name is Martin Angila. I'm from Kenya, and I mainly do content writing for B2B and SaaS companies. I'm also a content strategist. I assist companies come up with strategies that can help them create content that present the company to the audiences with the goal of bringing more sign-ups and revenue. Yeah, a little about me, personal about me, is that I'm a believer. I'm a Christ believer, and I'm a pastor at a local church where I serve. And I think that's one of the best things I do, apart from writing. So one thing I love about writing, about freelancing, is that it allows you, it gives you the freedom to do whatever you can do. So as a minister, as a pastor, I find it the flexibility to be very, very helpful in whatever I do. I started writing back in 2018. At that time, I think it was my first in the university. Yeah, first in the university. That is the year I started freelance writing. The goal of my why I started writing was just to get a little bit of quick cash here there, survive. I know who have been in the university, you must have something on the side just to assist you to survive. So that was my main goal to start writing in 2018. And I just did it as a side hustle or a way of just getting quick cash. But I never knew that it would turn into something serious, because many of the friends I met at that time were just doing it for get a little bit of cash in there. But after graduating in 2021, I went full time. Yeah, that was around three years later. Yeah, I went full time, because as I was graduating, I was like, okay, it is either I go and get employed and decide now to become a slave. So I decided just to go full time, because even before I went to university, I was working at a hospital as an accounts clerk. But I never liked the experience because of the time freedom was not there. So as I was finishing and graduating, I decided, okay, I've been doing this for the last 3 years. Now I think I can now decide to do it full time. A few of the companies I've worked for since 2018. I've worked for many companies, by the way, content marketing agencies. I've also worked for a few SaaS companies, some of them like Writing Box. I've also worked for Volanovat, for those who know those companies. I've also worked for my phone, and a few of the content marketing agencies I've worked for, like Content Growth, like Domain Bag, and a few of more of those companies. Now, I just give a brief history of cold emailing, of my cold emailing history. When I started writing, I heard of cold emailing, but I was like, okay, this thing seems to be very tough. I could imagine looking for companies and trying to send emails, not sure if I'm going to get a feedback or not. But I think it was in 2018 or 2020, I'm not sure yet, I decided to give emailing a shot. So I did. I collected around 400 companies from Google, and I looked for the contact in Google and decided to send them emails, cold emails. I was just doing it as something like to try and see if it works. Fortunately, after 75 emails, after sending 75 emails, I started getting a lot of positive feedback. And I got, I think, 2 clients after sending 300 emails. Yeah, after sending 300 cold emails, I was able to get at least 2 clients. Fortunately, I'm still working with one up to today. So it's been around 3 years. Yeah, it was that serious. So I've been working with one client for 3 years just out of cold emails. Yeah, I think that's just a brief history of what I do. Now we can just get started to know the meat of this, of what I'm supposed to be talking about. So what is called emailing? When we want to put in a simple terms, it is just an initial email that is sent to a receiver in order to gain benefit in terms of favor, sales, and opportunity. But when it comes now to freelance writing, when you describe what is a cold email in freelance writing, it is simply writing an email to a prospect. To a prospect now, that is the company that you want to work for, right? And you are writing to that prospect to strike a conversation that will potentially result in a working relationship. Now, to think about that. Cold emailing, when it comes to freelance writing, is not just trying to get clients. Yeah, okay, that's the goal. The end goal is getting clients. But before you get to getting clients, you want to strike a conversation. That is what matters. You want to bring in that prospect that you want to work with, and you're trying to create a conversation that potentially will lead to a working relationship. Yeah, can now get going. Now, there are some things that you have to understand before you get started with cold emailing. Now, one thing I forgot to say is that cold emailing, as much as it seems to be a lucrative way of getting clients, it is not that easy. Yeah, for those who have done it, can agree with me that it is not that easy. You can send many emails and fail to get any feedback. I've been doing a campaign for the last 1 month. And I've been sending a lot of emails. So far, I think I've done 500 emails. Yes, I've got some few clients, but you can imagine 500 emails maybe you can get 1 to 3 clients, which is good at the end of the day because you'll be working with long-term clients, you see. So as much as it gives you creative client, it's not that easy. You have to be ready to do in the work, to give in the work that you need. You have to, okay, we'll discuss anything as we go on, but now, as we get started, what do you need to know before you start emailing? Number 1, you have to be really good at your writing. Yeah, you have to be very good at your writing because you'll be targeting very big companies, maybe multi-million-dollar companies that are getting a lot of are getting millions of revenue in a monthly basis. So they have a lot of budget for content. They have a lot of budget for marketing. So for them to accept you as a writer, you have to be really good at what you do. So that's number 1. That comes with time. You have to practice, keep practicing. And then number 2, which is very, very important for any freelance writer, not necessarily when you want to start cold emailing, having a professional writer website. A website is like your online office. Yeah, this way now you take your clients to whenever you want to. When somebody asks you, okay, what do? You can simply send them to your website. So you have to have a professional writer website. I believe some people will say that should maybe just have a simple WordPress website, a free one, which is good. But now you're looking for high-end clients. You want to appear professional. Yeah, that's number 2. Number 3, you have to at least have some good testimonials from past clients. Maybe you have been working with a few clients at the past. The first thing, just ask them that if they can just tell you something, if they can give you a short testimonial, something that can at least you can use to present yourself to other prospects that you are a good writer, that you have something to show. And then number 3 and number 4, good samples. Samples are very, very important because it is now you'll use them to tell clients to show clients what you have done before. Yeah, so you have to have good samples, maybe some that are posted on other sites, or maybe just on your own website, as we say number 2. And then the last point is a good online presence. These are very, very important steps because I've been working, I've applied to so many jobs apart from cold emailing. And one thing many clients always ask for is this, that show us your LinkedIn profile, tell us what I've been doing before, can we see you online? So having a good online presence has never been more important as of now, because many clients are looking for people that at least are vocal online. So if it's good, just open our LinkedIn profile, begin posting it there. It will better help you in getting class when it comes to cold emailing. Yes. Just continue to the next step. Now, before we get started on how to write a cold email and how to proceed from there. There are some things that most people get wrong, mostly are writers. And these things, in most cases, they prevent writers from having to express themselves, or even to appeal clients or what they can do. So when you're writing cold emails, you are trying to get somebody to do something. Yeah, you're trying to get a client to hire you. Yeah, for that appeal to be effective, your message needs to be structured in a compelling way. Yeah. So with that said, there's something that most writers do wrong when they do cold email. Number 1, they use very long messages. Okay? I don't know if you have received some emails from maybe somebody you have subscribed to, and then it's a long email. You get tired by just when you just scan it through, you just get tired because you don't have all the time to read everything. So that's the first mistake that writers get wrong. Having long messages, and then number 2, they fail to capture the prospect's attention. Yeah, that's very, very critical. We'll discuss later as we keep on moving how you can capture the prospect's attention. Get this for me. The people that are trying to call email, they have received many emails from other people before. Yeah? So they know when you are about to do it, to ask them for something. So the first mistake that should be avoided, don't make sure that you don't fail to capture the prospect's attention at the first time you meet, on the first line on your cold email. And then number two, which many people lack, they don't personalize email at all, which is very, very bad. Why? The prospect that you want to ask for a job, number one, he's a human being. He's a human being and he's busy, number one. Number two, and then number three, he would like you to tell him something about himself. Yeah, it's not about you. It's not only about you. Trying to say that, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm looking for this and that. You are trying to please somebody. When you try to please somebody, you don't tell them something about yourself, but you tell them something about themselves. Yeah. Even if you are talking to your best friend, and the only thing that he keeps on telling you is about himself or herself. Yeah. At some point you get tired. So personalization is something that most writers fail to do. And when I mean by personalization, I don't mean just addressing the client by his name. That is an old way of personalization. Now things have gone ahead. Things are now different today. People want you to go into detail about their lives. So if you can get those unique insights and then use it on your code email, it will be very effective. Number four, they will go overboard with the personalization. Yeah. Another thing, they go overboard with the personalization. As much as you want to personalize your emails, don't now go overboard with it. By going overboard, it's like now you're poking holes to the life of into the personal life of the client, of that prospect. You want to tell him about the job that maybe he was fired from. Yeah, those are the kind of things that I've seen happening in cold emails. So don't go overboard with the personalization. Just keep it simple, keep it concise, and that will help you a lot. The last point, irrelevant stuff. I don't think I need to explain about that. Okay, just don't go into saying some things that that are not relevant to what you want to say. Just go straight to the point. As we'll see later, I have a few templates that maybe can show you what I mean by that. As we now proceed again to now our next slide. How to get clients to pitch. Now, this is now where we get started from now. How to get clients to pitch. We speak about cold pitching, but before you even speak about that email that you'll be writing, number one, you need to get that person, that company that you want to pitch. Yeah. So the first step is to get the clients to pitch. I call this the pre-cold emailing steps. Yeah. They are part of cold emailing, but they come before the actual process of sending emails. So you need a few things as we see. Number one, you need to know the companies to pitch. You need to know the contacts in that company that you pitch. And then number three, you need to get the emails of the contacts. Three critical steps: companies to pitch, contacts in the company to pitch, and then the emails of the contacts. Now, here's how to go about each of those steps. Number one, to get the companies that you need to pitch. This is a process I've been using for anytime I do cold emailing. So you need to get as many companies as possible. So what you can do is go to Google and search for top 10, top 100, top X companies in your niche that you want to pitch. For example, since I'm a B2B SaaS writer, I'll search for what? I'll search for I'll search for top 1,000 SaaS companies. Now, let me just give an example with a quick Google search. Let's search for top 1,000, even I've done it before. Top 1,000 SaaS companies. Let us see the results. So when you see, okay, we already have a couple of results here. We have now this one which is being updated. And just check it out. Just a moment. Okay. Now, they're the top SaaS companies that you can pitch. There's a list here, 1,000 of them. And you can get there are many companies in your niche. If you're a health writer, just search top 1,000 health companies. If you are a finance writer, top 1,000 finance companies. Any niche that you're in, just top 1,000, 500, so that you can get at least a good number of companies that will be pitching. So number two, the contacts. Now that you have the list of the companies that you will be pitching, the next point is now getting the contacts. By contacts, I mean their email addresses. Email addresses. You don't need their numbers because you not use it, but you need their email addresses. With your list of companies ready, the next step is looking for the right person to contact. Sorry, I think I went to the third point, contacts. So the contacts are the people in that company that you will be emailing. So when it comes to content writing, you are looking for people in the marketing in the marketing team, because the marketing team is in charge of content. It's in charge of anything related to marketing. So those are the people you will be interested in. Don't go and try to look for the company's accountant, or maybe try to look for like somebody in the sales department. Those are not relevant because they will either just mark the email as spam, or maybe they will just ignore your email. So you look for someone like the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer, the Head of Marketing, the VP, Vice President Marketing, the Head of Content or Content Marketing Manager. But if you don't get any of these people, you can go ahead and contact the CEO. Now, the CEO, that is to when you don't get anybody else in the company to contact, the CEO can help, but not necessarily to start with. Just start with these people, say CMO, marketing, head of content, and all those other people. And then after that, after you're done, save the list on a CSV file because you need it later. Number three, you get now the contact emails. Now you already have a list of the companies you want to contact. You already have the right person to contact in that company. Now the third thing that you need to do is now to getting their contact emails. Now what I do when it comes to contact emails, I mainly use a few tools that are very helpful. I use hunter.io. I think all of us know Hunter, but if you don't know this tool, you can just go and do a quick Google search. It will give you an idea of what these tools are. You also need Snowview and Voila. So these are the tools that they are called. They are named email finder tools. If you can just do email finder tools, you get so many tools. But I mainly use these three because they are effective, they get accurate data, and they help a lot when it comes to giving you concise information. Another thing, these tools, when you want to pay for them, they may be expensive because I think most of them are above $60 per month. But you can use the free version. What I usually do, I have like 3 emails, my personal emails. I have my domain email, and I have 2 personal emails. So what I do, because when I don't have money to buy those tools, I just sign up with 1 email, and with that 1 email, you can get the free option that gives a list of maybe 150 emails or maybe 50 emails per month. So if you can sign up to all the 3 tools with all your 3 emails, with that you can at least get like up to 1,000. You can get up to 1,000 emails that can assist you now moving forward to the next step. Now we're targeting. We now go to the meat of our piece. How do you write a cold email? How do you write your first cold email? Now, cold email is mainly as a numbers game, as I said earlier. The more you send, the better chance you have of getting clients. Now, that does not mean that now you should now send 1 million generic emails. Doesn't mean that now you should send 1 million generic emails to 1 million companies. That's where most writers get it wrong. You get a list of 1,000 companies. You begin to email them randomly. You send many emails, don't get anything returned. As much as it is a numbers game, remember to make sure that you have put your personalization in check. Now, before you get started, make sure you have researched the client. You have to know whom you will be targeting. You want to know what the company. You want to know even that contact. You want to know what they've been doing. If, for example, you are targeting a company like let me say a company called Customer.io, which is a SaaS company. You want to know the VP of marketing, and you want to know what is this VP of marketing doing on LinkedIn? What has he been posting, or what has he been posting about? Yeah, you want to get those little details so that by the time you reach out, at least you have some personalized stuff that can catch the attention of that prospect. Yeah. So instead of aimlessly emailing everyone from every niche, email companies that fit your niche. Number one, if you're a health writer, don't target SaaS companies. Yeah, or unless it is a company, it is a SaaS company in the health niche. But don't look for somebody, a company, and someone that aligns with whatever you've been doing for the last maybe 3 years, or the last years that you've been doing this writing, that fit your niche, that you think will value your services. That's another thing. You know, many companies today, okay, not today, but I've seen companies that they don't value the services that the writer offers. Yeah, and that is why you'll hear a client saying that, oh, if you are asking for pay rise, and then the client will tell something like, or if you ask me for pay rise, I'll replace you with ChatGPT. Yeah, that's something that does not value your services. And then something that you think would be a great fit. By a great fit, I mean somebody that will share goals. You have the same mindset when it comes to creating content. You have the same goals with content. No, you can just be a writer, but don't understand the value that you're bringing to this client, or you don't understand why you're writing in the first place. In fact, many writers today don't know why they're writing. They're just writing because they want to make money, yeah, which is a good thing, yes. But I believe that the reason for you writing is, number one, you want to help that client be able to represent their brand in a good way to their to their readers. And then number two, you want to help that client get content that can help them rank high on search engines like Google. And then number three, you want to help the client create content that will help them not only get readers, but also do what create content that brings revenue in return. Yeah. So those are very three important factors that you think about when you think about content. So you also want to keep it simple, get straight to the point. Don't use things like, oh, I hope you're doing well. My name is this from this. Yeah. Those are does not make sense when it comes to cold email. Keep it simple. And so if maybe you have something that you want to ask, you can just give me a question on the comment section before I proceed. But meanwhile, you can just keep on moving. So to our next slide, we first start with subject lines. Yeah, subject lines is a very, very important part of the email. So your subject line, the title of your message. Yeah, it is the title of your message. Yeah, it may seem like something that is not important, but it is very, very critical, by the way, because it is what the client will see when the prospect will see when you are sending your email. It is not visible in your response inbox when you message them. Now, why is a subject line important? Now, I found a very good start when I was doing my research for this talk, that 33% of email recipients open emails based on subject lines alone. You can imagine 33% of people that you email, they will just open the email because of the headline that they have read. And then another fun fact, 69% of email recipients, they report email as spam based on the subject line. So if you don't know how to craft your subject line in a good way, most of your called emails will just go into this spam. That's how you lose a potential client. So those are, so now that I've said that, how do you write a good subject line in our next item? How do you write a good subject line? Go short, keep it simple. Go short, keep it simple. Get personal. Now, what I mean by getting personal, you can mention the company the name of the company on your subject line. For example, if you are pitching to a company like let me say a company like I'm a SaaS writer, so I'll just be using SaaS companies as an example, so you can bear with me. Yeah. So let me give an example of a SaaS company like okay, let me use Volanobat, which I've written for before. It's a SaaS company. It is an email finder tool to help people get emails for prospects. Now, if I'll be writing for them an email to their CMO, my subject line that will show that I personalized it will be something like content at Volanobat. Yeah, you see. So that's like my headline. So and now my recipient sees it, we know that, oh, the person that is sending me email has already seen that I'm working at this company. So content at Volanobat. That already shows that you have done some research in personalization. And then number 3, be specific and useful. Be specific and useful. I don't think I need to expand on that. Number 4, don't oversell. It's funny that some people, they already sell on their subject line. And by the one thing I've noted for the number of times I've been working with people and just trying, I'm very vocal on it. And there's something I've been seeing many people are saying. People don't like to be sold to. Yeah, nobody likes to be sold to, and that is why also when you see an ad on YouTube, when you're watching your YouTube video, and then an ad pops up, you wait for those 5 seconds very quickly. Yeah, and the moment the 5 seconds are up, you click the skip ad button. Why? You don't like to be sold to. Nobody likes to be sold to. So don't appear as if you want to sell something. Yes, that is the goal, to work with that client, but don't show it. Yeah. Now, don't oversell. For example, don't say something like, don't use a headline like, need content that will double your traffic and revenue. Now, that's not something you can say for a headline. Why? It is too salesy. And then number 2, it is overselling. How sure, as a client, how sure am I that your content will double my traffic and revenue? That is too big of a claim. Yeah, you want to make sure that you only use words that are not too salesy, and then they are not too much of a promising. Yeah, you want to use the right words that at least provide something that is relevant to the client, and you can also do it. And then number 5, don't fool recipients with, okay, I never knew this thing. I never knew people use this. Why? No, when you speak about tree or FW, it means you are telling a client that, oh, I was forwarded to you by either the CEO of that company or maybe a manager in that company, and yet that is a lie. Yeah, you see, the moment you show a client that you tell something that is untrue to the client, they'll automatically reject you and then not go forward with that with that email. So don't fool recipients. If it is true that you are forwarded with that manager, make sure that you CC that person so that maybe they can confirm that it is true. You forwarded them to the person that emailed you. Now to our next slide. Opening lines. Now after the subject line, now we go to the opening line. Where most people drop the ball after fixing up the subject line is with their opening lines. This is the first sentence of the message. A good opening line naturally engages people and keeps them reading through to your CTA. Now, the opening line is the first part of your email. And you want to make sure that the prospect, you get the attention of the prospect. You see, if your opening line is it is lazily written, it is not exciting, or it is just too boring, nobody will read it. Yeah, as a writer, I take so much time to write the opening line more than anything else. Sometimes I can even take up to 3 hours, just trying to get the right intro. Why? Because the right intro is like the bloodline of that article or the bloodline of that email. If you miss it there, then you have lost the client, and that is how you lose it. So you want to make sure that your opening line is very, very attractive. It is very, very appealing and exciting so that the client can keep on doing what? Can keep on reading your piece. Now, there's a quote I got from Colin, there's a quote from customer.io. He said that the two most important lines in your email are what? The subject line, which you're talking about, and the first line of the email. Why? Like peanut, butter, and jelly, your subject line and first line belong together. I love that so much. That like peanut butter and jelly, the subject line and the first line belong together. Why? Or because if you pair them well, they can work wonders for your open page. Why? They do a lot. The first thing the prospect will see is that subject line, and then number two, the opening line. So if you get it there right, now you have got the client on that first contact. You see? Now let's go to the next part. How to create a perfect opening line. Two things I think I miss number there. Two things. Keep it short. Ideally, I love to keep it like one sentence. One sentence is good to go. Just keep it short. Don't try to use one full paragraph to open an email. As I said earlier, these people are busy. They're very busy prospects. They're busy people. Probably they have been receiving hundreds of emails from another person like you. So you want to be the odd one out. You want to appear like a different person. So keep it short. And then number two, you want to mention something that is unique about the client to show that you did research about them. Now, what does it mean? It means that you want to mention something unique that will attract, that will appeal to that client to show that you really did research about them. For example, I gave this example here. Hi, John. I know that you haven't posted an article since January. Now, this means, for example, as I told you, I've been doing emailing for the last 1 month. So one approach I got that was very, very was giving some good result. I went to each company's blog page and checked out the number of times they've been posting. You see, and with some companies, I found out that they are not been posting for like 2-3 months, and by that I got something unique. I'm like, okay, I can use this as an example, and I now which gave line to this example that I'm giving you. I noted that you haven't posted an article since January. Now this shows automatically it will excite the clients. They'll be like, oh, this guy did research about me, and it is true, we have not posted since January. So based on that, automatically you have captured their attention. Yeah, you see. And then I go to our next part, which is now the email body copy. Now this is now the meat of the email. This is where now you present whatever you want to speak to the client about. So there are 3 things that you have to get right here. How to when you're creating a body copy. Number 1 is you want to write like a human. That seems it might read like it's a bit not normal, but yes, it is true. I've been receiving so many cold emails from other writers or even from backlink builders. And the moment I just open that email, I don't go ahead reading it. Why? It is so robotic. Yeah. You automatically know that this person did not research about me. He was just in the business of copying and pasting emails and sending to as many people as possible. And by that, I just don't continue reading the email. And that is how now many people do it. You want to sound human. You want to add a bit of excitement. You want to add in a bit of stories. Yeah, A good story is good. Yeah, you have to tell. But I'm not saying that you have to now go into now a storytelling session. Just use something that is like a personal anecdote. Sound human. That is what I'm saying. I'm trying to say. Sound human. And then number two, personalize your body copy. Yeah, personalize your body copy. Now I'll be giving you a template as I'm about to see in a moment. By personalizing your body copy, I mean, you want to in the body, you want to say something that is personal to that prospect. You see, you want to say something that maybe they've been seeing or something that they've been having a problem they've been having. For example, as I was doing my cold email, I decided to do something unique. I went to the blog page of my prospects, and I was reading some, and I was trying to look for a good article that they've been writing before, that they wrote before, and I got those blogs, and really, yes, they were very good blogs. And then, as in my body, I said to them that, oh, I read this article from your page like last week, and I found it to be very exciting. And then you congratulate them like, oh, keep on doing a good job and all that and all that. By that, it is like you are personalizing the body of your email. Number three, get to the point. Say, get to the point. Don't try to beat about the bush and trying to say irrelevant stuff. You're trying to say something that don't matter. Go to the point. In fact, one of my templates, it is like a four-line email. You're like, hey, how are you? And not how are you, but you give them a greeting like, hello, and I'm a writer. Are you looking for writing a company? Sure. Simple, concise to the point. Sometimes you don't need to do everything, write everything about what you have done, the companies you have worked for, and then tell them a story about how you started writing. They're not interested in that. Yeah, they're not interested to know where you come from. They're not interested to know how long you've been writing, how you professionally are. No, they're not interested in that. Get to the point. The goal is to keep the email concise, short, and to the point. Okay, let's go to our next. And I think now we're looking at some good email templates that I've used before. Now, these are real emails that I've sent before. Some of them have given me some good positive feedbacks. Some of them have given me clients. Now, this is the first one. As you can see from this template, it is very, very short. I've not talked much. I've gone to the point. For example, hello, Joe. Hope you're a nice weekend. Yeah, I sent this email on a Monday. So when I send it on a Monday, I have to show some form of personalization by telling them if they had a good weekend. You see, that already is like trying to capture their eyes. So hope you had a nice weekend. Want to keep this short, so let me jump to the point. As I said earlier, you have to sound human. So I'm trying to sound human here. And then after you have now gone that, you have to introduce yourself. My name is Martin, a B2B SaaS content writer with 6 years of experience. Now, as you can see, that's the only line that I've talked about myself. Now, after that, I go now to talk about the client. I was wondering if you are the right person to contact about content and to write way. I've helped brands like and all that. If so, I'd love to discuss how I can pitch in. In the meantime, have a look at my site for testimonials and samples. As you have read the email, it is simple, short, to the point. I've not beaten about the bush. I've just got to the point and told the client what I'm trying to do. Now, number two, another template. You can use it if you have time. Hi, editor. I have a question for you. What are your goals for content marketing this year? Look at that. It captures their attention by asking them about their goals about content this year. Obviously they have something in mind, and they like to respond like, oh, yeah, we have some goals, like number 1, number 2, number 3. Then I go on. I noted on the website that you are hiring. Yeah, I checked the website and found that they were hiring. So I noted on your website that you are hiring. as you expand your team, are you looking at growing the content too? You see, if so, I'd love to discuss how I can pitch in. Now, at this point, is now the point now you bring the companies that you have written for before. I've helped companies like, as I told you earlier, Writing Box, My Fauna, Volanobert, do what? Boost their email marketing and SEO performance with great content. Interested? Keep me posted. Simple to the point. And then to my last example, which I think was okay, this was the shortest. Now to the last example, another one. Hello, I'm Ritesh. I recently read an article. Now this was the example I was telling you about personalization. I actually went to the site and tried to get an article that I written before, a good article. I'm not just trying to lie to them that I love this, but I actually read the article and found it to be exciting, so that I could use it later on my email. So hello, I'm Ritesh. I recently read an article on your site titled Chat Apps for Marketing and all that. And I absolutely loved it. As a fellow writer, I really appreciate the type of content you're putting on that company. I've also had some of my work get published on various websites, but I must say that I'm truly impressed with the website. I was wondering if you're currently looking for someone to join your team. If so, I'd be interested in discussing available opportunities. I'm a B2B SaaS content writer, and I've worked with similar companies in the past, and I help them a lot with fresh content. Thank you for the great content, and keep up the good work. Have a lovely day. Now you can look at that template. It is very personalized. It is human, and I tried as much as possible to appeal to the client by telling them how they've been doing a good job in their work. Now, to my second last point, as I finish, after you have sent your emails, you have to follow up. You have to follow up, and because follow-up is very important, because you cannot just send one email and sit back, relax, and enjoy. No, you have to follow up with more emails to at least get some feedback from the client. Why? Now, here's an interesting stat. 92% of people give up after 4 no's. Why? 92% of people give up after 4 no's, not one, after 4 no's. At the same time, 80% of prospects say no 4 times before they say yes. Now look at that, which means if you can keep on pushing just a little bit more, it can give you some good results. So don't just send one email and sit back and say, oh, I tried it, it failed. Now go to the next part. And now this does not mean you should now overfollow up. By overfollowing up, I mean you are sending 10 follow-up emails. 10 follow-up emails. The person you're trying to follow up on is another human being. Is another human being. Let me just give me one moment as I just send a message here. Just a moment. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Now let's go on. Now, when I speak about following up, don't follow up with 10, 15 emails. Because at the same time, that person is a human being. So he'll easily, or she will easily give up and not even read your email. So now, what's the ideal number of following ups? Now, I've been trying this personally, and I've tried it before. And I was like, shall I send 3 follow-ups? Shall I send 2 follow-ups? Shall I send 4 follow-ups? But that's now on personally as based on how I've been doing it. I found out that 2 follow-up is good. It is good enough. Why? Because you'll send your first email to like introduce yourself to the client. Number two is trying to sensitize on what you send on the first email. And then the third email is now you are trying to like, okay, I sent you my first 2 mails, I saw you open them, but are you interested? That's not like the deal breaker. If they decide to go on with you, or they decide to say no. So 2 follow-up is good. That is now according to me. I've seen some other writers saying that she will follow up like 5 times, 4 times. Yeah, maybe it worked for them, but for me, 2 follow-up is good to go. Now, so what is the duration that she will send these follow-ups? Now, again, this is now according to me, that the way I do it. I send my first follow-up email after 3 days. So when I send an email on Monday, I'll follow up on Thursday, yeah? And then the third email, the third follow-up email is after 7 days. So I send an email on Monday, follow up on Thursday, and then the last email is on next week on Thursday. You see, at least you have given the client enough time to, maybe if they're to consult with their marketing team, or maybe they're to consult with somebody in the department or a manager. So you have given them enough time to consult. That is now after 7 good days. Now, on my final part, as I finish my short lecture today, what are the email writing tools that you need to have? Yeah, what are the email writing tools that you need to have? Because you don't have to do it alone. There are plenty of tools that I recommend that are like shortcuts to your learning curve and will rapidly improve your campaign performance. Number one, I shared this before. To find emails, you need Hunter, Inoghie, and Volanobat. Those are my 3 main tools that I use. They are very helpful when it comes to getting accurate email contacts for my prospects. And then number 2, you need an email tracker or a mass email sender. And now with an email tracker, what it does, yeah, I think this is very important. With an email tracker, it will show you if the client has opened your email, if they read it, or if they've clicked on a link that you had placed on that email. Why? This is important because it will come in handy when you're following up. For example, when you have sent your first email and then your first follow-up, on the third follow-up, with the help of the email tracker, you can know that the prospect saw your first email, they read your second email. So on the third email, you can do something like, hey, hello, a prospect name. I saw that you read my past emails, but you have not replied. Does that mean that you are interested? Yeah, you see, that's kind of a follow-up that is using the help of email trackers. And then number 2, when you want to send mass emails, now I don't really encourage this as much, but you can, with a little bit of personalization, if you can get to that level, if you can personalize mass emails, the email tracker can help you because you can send like 100 emails at a go that are personalized, 100 emails at a go, and still be able to achieve what you want to achieve. That is the tool I use is mailtrack.io. I think you can sign up for the paid version. It is free. It is I think it's around $5, which I think it is economical. Yeah, $5 per month is a bit not expensive. If you're serious with the cold email, you really need to have such a tool because it will help you a lot in getting data to see how your campaign is performing. Yeah, to get that kind of data. And then number 3, a headline analyzer, which is now the tool you use to analyze your headline to see how effective is your headline. I use CoSchedule for that. It's a simple tool. You can still use it for looking for your article headlines. Yeah, you just paste your headline on CoSchedule and analyze it to see how effective it is based on the tool. Yeah, I think that now wraps up my lecture for today. I hope that you've got something new, and the content I've shared with you will at least give you some good tips on how to write good emails and get clients with cold emails. Yeah, thank you very much for taking your time to listen to this, and I hope it will give you the right insights to help you proceed from there. If you have any questions, I think I have a few, like 10 minutes to get questions. You can send me a question and maybe we can see how to assist you. Thank you very much. Back to you, Iyabo, if there is not any question. Thank you. Let me.
Yeah, thank you, Pastor Martin, Angela. We really appreciate you. Personally, I learned so much from this session. It was worth our while. And I'm so glad we are recording this session because many people cannot log on because they are having issues. But once we upload the video, I believe more and more people will benefit from this knowledge that you have shared. Thank you so much, sir. If you are on, we have a question already. So somebody is asking, Right Way Consults is asking that, are these email tools free? He wants to know whether the tools are free. If you are on, sir,
Okay.
Please kindly shed more light on that for us.
Yeah, okay. Most of these tools, they have free options, but they also have paid options. So what I usually do, for example, the email finding tools, as I said earlier, I used to have 2 emails. So, for example, like Snovio, Snovio is a email finder tool. So it gives you 150 free emails to get to started with. And after that, now you can pay it, which I think for $9, I'm not sure yet. So what I should do is I use the free option at maximize on the free option. And by the time I'm done with the free option, now I can now get class with that. And then as I begin working now, I can get money to pay for the premium option. So they're free, they have free options for number one, but at the same time, they also have paid options. So if you are doing a mass email campaign, like 10%, like 1,000 emails, 2,000 emails, now you can just go ahead and buy it. Yeah, I think that answers your question. Thank you.
Okay, Right Way Consults, are you okay with the answer? Let us know through the chat box. Please let us know. Also, I wanted to ask, sir, if you start a campaign, cold emailing campaign, and you follow up 2 times after your initial email, he says it is clear with your answer. Thank you so much. So like I was asking, if you start an email, a cold emailing campaign, and then you send 2 follow-ups after your initial email, which means you have sent 3 emails.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If the person does not say he's not interested, because some people will not talk, they will just read your email and leave it at that. If the person doesn't say he's not interested, do you stop mailing them Or what do you do in that kind of circumstance? I just want you to throw more light on that, sir.
Yeah, of course, people have choices. So if they have said that they are not interested, or even they have not talked, you automatically know that they are not interested. And as I said earlier, mailtrack.io is a good tool. It will tell you, it will show you if the client has, if the prospect has read the email, if they've seen it. So if you send the first email, which is now the primary email, and you see that they saw it, and then the second email, the first follow-up, they saw it, and then the third follow-up, and they saw it, but they are quiet, automatically know that now, okay, this person is not interested. So you don't want to keep on emailing again, because now you'll be now making them angry. So you want to just put it there and now go to the next prospect. And that's now why I said that you have to send as many emails as possible, because you're talking to somebody that you have never known. But again, you need to at least do good research beforehand, so that by the time you start emailing them, you know who they are, and you know that you know the kind of the unique details about them that will give you an upper hand, so that they can at least reply to your email. Yeah, I think that helps.
Okay, thank you for that answer. And then I also wanted to ask, because I'm also into cold email pitching, and I struggle with this imposter syndrome thing. And I know there are a lot of newbies who do experience it too. So I want to ask, did you experience it at the beginning of your journey? How did you deal with it? What would you advise a newbie who is experiencing imposter syndrome and doesn't know how to proceed? What will you tell them to do, sir?
Yeah. Imposter syndrome is I don't believe that there's any writer that has not experienced imposter syndrome. Remember one example. Remember one time my first client, I reached to me by Facebook, because I posted on a Facebook group, and then I said that he'll be paying like $180 for 3,000 words. I froze, because I never earned that much. And for like one day, I could not even start writing mine, because I was like, I'm not qualified to get this amount of money for the number of words that I'm writing. So yes, it's something that I've said before personally. So when it comes to email, potentially advise people when it comes to imposter syndrome is that if you are sure enough that you have the right skills, you have given enough time to learn about maybe your niche, you have taken enough time to learn about a skill, about your writing in general, that is enough to give you the push to keep on sending the cold emails. Now, why? Because you're not betting on the prospects, the prospects like the result to you, but now you are betting on your skill as a person. You know that you're a good writer. You know that you have done everything as possible to write the book, to establish yourself as a good writer. So based on that, I believe you have now enough strength and enough confidence to write code. So yes, it is an issue, but at the same time, don't focus on it. Don't focus on your weaknesses, but focus on your strength. Don't focus on how you are not qualified, but focus on how you are a good writer. Focus on how you are. Focus on those good testimonials that you have received before, because testimonials will tell you that you are a good writer. You have done it before. As a client was happy with the work. So those kind of good positive insight, they help you a lot to gain confidence, so that you can keep on reaching new clients. Yeah.
Thank you so much for dealing with that question extensively. Yeah, last but not the least, I just want to ask this before Onize comes on. Onize, I'm sorry. Let's just trash this out. I wanted to ask, in this cold emailing thing, you will get rejections. For instance, in a day, you might have 5 people saying no. No one will say yes. Like 5 people saying no. How do you, because I like us to be practical. These are things that happen. How do you deal with that for you to be able to get back onto your laptop tomorrow and still pitch? How did you deal with that dynamic in your own business?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I even forgot to address it. As I said earlier, as I was saying, that I've been doing a emailing campaign the last 1 month. So far, I've sent like 500 emails. 500 emails. And the result, I think my success rate is around 3%. So just like 3 clients. And I even told you earlier that I sent 300 emails to get 1 client. So the cold email, rejection is like part of the game. Yeah, you have to be rejected. Yeah, sometimes a client will not even respond to your email. You will see that you read it, and then you did everything right. You're like, I did my research well. I did what I tried as much as possible to get everything right, but there's no response. Now that does not mean that I do something wrong. It is just part of the game, and even life in general. Life in general is full of rejections. I've never seen anybody that had a good life from the time they were born to the time of their death. Nobody had a walk in the park in their lives. So it is part of emailing. You must, not even you will, you must get rejections. That's part of it. No, people not respond to your emails. Somebody just respond to one email like not interested. Somebody just even tell you like, oh, the person your contact is not there. So it is part of the game. And you have to, before you get started, you must let it sink in that you will be rejected. That's part of the game. So just let it sink in. But at the same time, as much as I'm getting rejected, there has to be a light at the end of the time. There has to be that one client that will see the value that is in you. And that's the person you're looking into. That's the person you're searching for. You're not searching for 500 clients, yeah? You're not searching for 1,000 clients, but you're searching for 1 client, 3 clients in 1,000, from 1,000 prospects, yeah? So based on that, just keep on redesigning your email, keep on redesigning your template, keep on redesigning your pitch so that you can get the right spot that has a good success. Yeah, I think that answers your question.
Okay, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We appreciate the wealth of experience, the depth of knowledge you have shared today. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah, so we will be moving on in the absence of any other question to our next speaker. Her name is Onize Muhammed, and she's an SEO content writer for software as a service brands. I know her as a professional, and that was why I approached her to do this talk, because some of my people had said they wanted to know about SEO content writing. And luckily, she agreed to do this. And we so appreciate her. She's been in the house since morning, since afternoon, sorry, patiently listening to what we are saying here. And so we want to invite her to the podium. She formerly worked at Your Content Marks, a content marketing agency for SaaS brands, but she's now freelancing. Onize knows SEO content writing like the back of her hand and is ready to empower attendees with her wealth of experience. Without wasting much of your time, I welcome Onize Muhammed to the podium. Thank you and welcome to the House of Wisdom podium.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry, I have been trying to connect via my system, connect to Zoom via my system, but it's been very difficult. I don't know. And now I don't know what to do with my slides because I don't think I can share my slides through my phone. I don't know what is happening. So I have just resorted to using my phone, if you don't mind. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Please go ahead. I'm sorry about the issues you had joining. Sorry about that, ma.
Yes, my system has been so difficult. I've only been able to connect to my my phone. So that's what I'll be using. I'm sorry if it's not professional enough. I'll be moving right in. So thank you very much, Mrs. Iyabo, for having me. I am very, very grateful. I'm very, very honored for being here. My name is Onize Muhammed, like she has introduced me. I am an SEO content writer. I interned with your content mart for 6 months. My experience basically is 1 year plus, so it's not that I have all that years of experience, but one thing that's greatly shortened my learning curve, which is internship and learning, giving myself to reading, and also having mentors around me has really helped me a lot. SEO content writing is a very, very vast topic. In fact, when I was going into SEO content writing, I actually went into content writing. I didn't have the intention of doing SEO, but I later realized that SEO is a very important part of blogging. If you want to stand out, you must be able to know the SEO part of content writing. So when I started, I had to, find a way to understand SEO. SEO is very broad. It's very broad. When I started, I was so confused. I was like, okay, will I ever understand this? And also, I had some people around me then who were giving me, who were making me feel really scared about it. And they were telling me, because I started from all these content farms, Nigerian blogs. I was helping them write blogs and all that. So they were making it look like it's one complicated thing and all. But when I later got a hang of it, I really realized that it's not as complicated as they made it look, or their kind of SEO wasn't as complicated. But the original SEO, the proper way of doing SEO can be a little tasking, a little cumbersome, but it's not something that nobody can do. SEO content writing is easy. It's easy, anybody can do it, but it is broad. That's one thing you must know. It is broad. It's not something you would understand. Even I'm just going to be touching on the surfaces. I won't be able to do justice to this topic within the short time frame that I have. So, but I'll be referring you to resources that you can use, that you can further grow your knowledge with. So without further ado, I'll be going into what I have for you today. I'll be talking about SEO, what SEO content writing really is, just to lay that foundation. I'm talking about why brands invest in SEO content writing so that you can be aligned with your clients. You have to know why they do this thing so that you can be aligned with them. You want to know the types of SEO, misconceptions about SEO content, and we'll be talking about how to optimize your content for SEO. So that's basically the 5 things that we will be talking about. I really wish that I'm able to share my slide, but unfortunately, I don't know how to do that with my phone. I'm very sorry, and I've done all I can to do that with my laptop, to connect to my laptop. It has not been successful. So, like I said, we will be starting with what is SEO content writing. If we x-ray the term SEO content writing, you notice that there are 3 words there, and which is SEO, content, and writing. But I want us to put them into 2 terms for the purpose of this presentation, which is SEO and content writing. SEO and content writing. So I'll talk about, tell you what content writing is, then tell you what SEO is, then we'll do that. I'll explain everything together. So content writing, according to HubSpot, is the process of writing, editing, publishing content in a digital format. So it is everything that content writing is, basically anything that you put on the internet, anything that you write at all on the internet is content writing. Either you write it on your Facebook, you write it on LinkedIn, you write it anywhere, it is content writing. But there are different types of content writing, which is blogs and scripts and transcripts and all that. But the one that we are going to be talking about majorly is blogs, because it is the one that is you would most likely be writing as a content writer. That is the one that you lots of clients will patronize you on as blog writing. So what is SEO? SEO is everything that you do to ensure that your content gets seen on search engine. It is everything that you do to ensure that your content gets seen on search engine. By search engine, what do I mean by search engine? Search engine are those platforms that provide answers to questions using an algorithm to, to determine what kind of answers they should give to your content. The one that we are most familiar with is Google, but besides Google, there are many search engines, and they include Bing, Yahoo, even YouTube is a search engine. TikTok is a search engine. As long as they provide answers to your question using an algorithm system, it's a search engine. But the one that you would majorly that is popular, or that we'll be talking about, is Google, because that is the one that supports blogging, and that is the one that most businesses use to attract their target audience. So we'll be moving right in quickly. So why do brands invest in SEO content writing? Like I earlier said, it's very important that you know why brands invest in SEO content writing, so that you can be aligned with them. You have to be aligned with your audience, with your clients, know their motive for doing what they are doing. It's not that they are just telling you, oh, optimize your content for, I want you to optimize this content for search engine. I want this content to get seen. I want my content to rank. And you're asking, why does it even really matter to you? Why are you so obsessed about this thing? Because you will find a lot of clients that are almost very obsessed with ranking. They just want their content to rank. You just want it to rank. In fact, it's like as if ranking is everything there is about blogging. They just want their content to rank, even though that is not everything there is about blogging, but it is actually very important. And though some people take it to the extreme, but it's an important thing. It is an important part of blogging. So a lot of brands invest in SEO content because it is cheap. That's one of the reasons. It is the cheapest form of distributing your content. So when your content gets seen on search engine, you literally don't pay for your content to get seen on search engine. You just have to have a blog, publish on your blog, and people see your content. So it is cheaper than doing Facebook adverts, doing Google ads, and many other things. It is cheaper. So that's why some people invest in SEO content, because it's cheap. Like some people would call it organic search, right? You really don't have to do much. You just have to ensure that your content is optimized, is well optimized, and gets seen with little investment. Even though they are paying you, you might be thinking, okay, but they are paying me, is that cheap? But compared to other forms of distributing your content or of trying to get your content seen, SEO is actually very, very cheap. That's one thing I have found, that SEO is very cheap. Also, another reason why people want their content to get seen on search, why people invest in SEO content, because it's majorly because they want their content to be visible. I wish you can see my slide and then you see how I illustrated it, but I'll just try my best to explain it, right? They want it. The major reason why you will find a lot of clients, the reason I have stated before, which is because it is very cheap. This is just some people who do it for that reason, but a lot of people do it majorly with the intention of getting as many eyeballs as possible. Okay, using yourself as an example, you will notice that whenever you have a question, the first place, and you don't get anybody to answer it for you, the first place you go to is Google, right? That is how a lot of people are searching Google by the day. Thousands and millions of people are searching Google by the day. So there's a lot of traffic. So they want all of this, they want people coming to Google, asking questions on Google to see their content so that they can be able to, sell them their product or get them to know about their brand, right? So after seeing their product, after seeing their content, then you can now give them a call to action, which is either to buy something or to sign up for an email or something. But the main intention is so that their content gets seen. First of all, their content gets seen. That's why you hear people talk about traffic. The traffic that they're referring to is the number of people that the people that visits a website, right? The people that visits the number of people that visits the website. So clients are very you find clients trying to tell you about, oh, I want this my blog to get so number of traffic, I want it to get huge traffic and all that. This is just all part of why they are doing SEO. So moving further, I'll still try to explain further on that, because a lot of times when you see when you enter a query into search engine, right, the Google returns a result to you. Take, for example, you enter vanilla cake recipe into search engine. Google returns series of results to you. And that first page, yeah, usually 10 pages or 10 results on that first page. That is what a lot of your clients who wants to do SEO content are competing for. They want their content to be among those first 10 results. Reason is, the second page, like my boss would always make joke about it. So the best place to hide a dead body and nobody will ever see it, nobody will ever know about it, is in the second page of Google. So anywhere, Google pages can be as much as 100 or so, even lots of them, but everybody is competing for that first page. Why? Because it's only in that first page that you can get your content seen. If your content is not in that first page, the chances that your content will get seen, except you are trying to promote your content through other means, like I earlier said, there are other means of promoting your content, which is Google Ads, Facebook. There are so many ways of promoting your content, but if you want your content to get seen via organically, then it has to be on this it has to be found among these first 10 results. Anywhere outside that, the traffic you will get is very, very mega and not enough to make the kind of changes you want for your business. So you see your clients struggling, telling you that I want my content to be in position 1, position 2, position 3, and all that. But the majorly coveted position is position 1 to 3. So if you can hit position 1, forget it. You have, you've done something very big for your clients. But again, SEO content writing. When I earlier started SEO content writing, I had the assumption that everything about ranking is up to me, is in my hand. I'm the one who have to do everything to make sure that the content rank. After all, I'm the SEO content writer. I'm the one who is charged with ensuring that this content ranks. But there are so many other factors, and that brings us to the types of SEO. The types of SEO. There are different types of SEO, but when it comes to blogging, there are 3 types of SEO that a blogger would want to focus on, which is technical SEO, on-page, off-page SEO, and on-page SEO. The technical SEO has to do with crawling a website, indexing it, ensuring that it is mobile friendly, ensuring that the page is loading fast. The off-page SEO has to do with building backlinks, promoting a website, ensuring that the website has good authority, good domain authority, and all that. But you as a content writer, your major work lies with the on-page SEO. The on-page SEO, that is what you do within your content to ensure that it ranks. You should know that if the technical SEO is faulty, the off-page SEO has a problem. You as a content writer has little to nothing that you can do to make the content rank, right? Because all of this is like the background work that must be done to ensure that everything is stable for content to come on top. If the technical part has not been sorted, the content, Google cannot crawl the website, the domain authority is very low, because you notice that if a blog is new, the domain authority will be very low, and as such, if you publish on that website, it will take a long time. In fact, there will be very little chance for the content to rank. It's not really because the content is not good, but because except you are, or you are an expert, or you already know the tactics involved, then you know how to tactically approach it to ensure that even though your blog is new, you can still create content and it will rank. But a lot of the times, generally speaking, if your off-page SEO and your technical SEO are not well attended to, your own-page SEO would make little to no effort, will make little to no impact. So you as a content writer, you can't be beating yourself up, or you'll be going to the selves all the time, plugging in the keyword to see when the content will rank. A lot of times it is not your own. It's not because you did not do your job well. It's just because there are other types of SEOs, other forms of SEOs that have not been checked. And as such, it's difficult for your own work to prove results. So talking about on-page SEOs now, which has to do with the content itself, the things you do with the content, how you choose your topic, ranging from how you choose your topic to how you plug in your keywords, to everything about the content as a whole, everything that has to do with writing the content. I will be talking about, that is what we will be majoring on now. That's what I will be talking about from now. So, and like I earlier said in my introduction, I said we'll be talking about misconceptions about SEO content. Just a lot of people these days, you'd find a lot of people trying to, stigmatize people that call themselves SEO content writers because of the kind of bad image some people have given SEO content. But SEO is a SEO exists. SEO is helpful. SEO is needful, despite all of the things that people have done to try to sabotage SEO content, to give it a bad name. However, you cannot really blame these people because before, some of these things were what were working, but nowadays they no longer work because of competition, because of so many things. I'll be listening at some of these misconceptions, then I'll be trashing them one after the other. So one of them is that SEO content is about keyword stuffing. Keyword stuffing, SEO content is about keyword. That's one thing I would want to establish as well. As you know, that SEO content revolves around keyword. It's not just enough to have a topic and say, okay, I have a topic. Like a client now would give you a topic. I have had clients who would give me a topic, okay, write about so topic, but they will not give you a keyword. If that content must be optimized, then you must be given a keyword. You have to ask the client, what keyword do you want me to optimize this content for? Keyword is different from topic. Topic could be 5 ways to bake vanilla cake. The keyword could be vanilla cake recipe. So they are different, but essentially keyword is that query that you are those words that you type into Google search box. Anything that is like, if I type vanilla cake recipe now into Google search box, that is a keyword. So the results that I get, we can do that right away. If you type in vanilla cake recipe now, you would see. If you're following me, you can. If you're following me, you can type it in as well so that you can see what I am saying. The vanilla cake recipe that I type in now is my keyword, but you will see there that the topics for the title for the pages that I'm saying says best vanilla cake I've ever had, vanilla cake recipe. That one is hitting the keyword exactly. Moist vanilla cake recipe with easy buttercream. My very best vanilla cakes stays moist for days and all that. These are content ideas. These are topic ideas, but all of these topics, they are ranking for this keyword called vanilla cake recipe. So it's very, very important that you get your keyword right. Sorry for that. So it's very important that you get your keyword right, because that is what you are going to be optimizing your content for. But again, the misconception I was talking about was that a lot of people believe that SEO content is keyword stuffing. So as you get those keywords, you have to put them in a particular pattern in your content. Probably ensure that the keyword appears 3 times in the introduction. Ensure that it appears 3 times in the first heading, then the second heading, and ensure it appears 2 times and all that. That is not proper way of doing SEO. Of course, you would get clients who will tell you, especially as a beginner, you will get clients who will tell you that that is how they want their content to be written for them. It's not really, there's little to nothing that you can do in that case. You just have to do what they want. But it's very important that you bear it at the back of your mind that that is not the proper way of doing SEO. It's very important that you bear it at the back of your mind that that's not the proper way of doing SEO. In that situation, what I have done that before, you can do that as well. You can advise the client, okay, this thing you're doing is not the proper way of doing SEO, because the truth is that when you keyword stuff your content, it will come back. It's like gaming the algorithm, actually. You are trying to forcefully tell the algorithm that, okay, I want you to rank my content for this keyword. Fine and good. The algorithm might comply with you initially, but again, Google is a business. Once you keyword stuff your content and the content ranks, and then a reader searches for that keyword, opens your content, they don't get a good reading experience. They have to go back to the SERPs, retrieve their keyword, or go back to another page. You would see that Google would get a signal that this content is not good enough, so they will derank your content. So in the long term, those people practicing keyword stuffing will end up suffering for it. That's just the truth. They will end up suffering for it. In fact, Google is always updating their algorithm, and who knows, one algorithm could come up and your content will be flushed away. That's why it's very important that from onset, you have to employ the right SEO tactics from the beginning. But like I earlier said, some of your clients will not agree with you. So you just have to do what they want and go. If you advise them and they agree, good for you. In fact, that will position you as an authority as well, because they would say, okay, this person knows her stuff. And by the end of the day, if they see the reward of what you are saying, they would want to stick with you for longer. So to further talk about keyword stuffing, it is when you intentionally try to place your keyword in certain aspects of your content. And the proper way of doing it is that you allow these keywords to come up naturally, natively, to appear natively in your content without, trying to say, oh, this is the keyword I'm ranking for. This is the keyword I want to rank for. This is the keyword I want the Google bot to crawl this content for. Without trying to do that, without intentionally bearing that in mind, these keywords should appear naturally in your content. But in cases when they do not appear naturally in your content, it is still good. It is still good, because there is no way you are going to talk about the topic and you don't talk about things that the topic is about. Let's say, for example, I want to talk about building a house now, how to build a house. Definitely, I'll talk about blocks. I will talk about, what's it called? I'll talk about blocks. I'll talk about cement. I'll talk about everything that has to do with. So those are the ways Google understands this thing. So when Google sees those things, it signals Google that, yes, okay, this content is about building a house. I should rank it for this keyword. So Google bots are not really dumb that you have to tell them, oh, I want you to rank this keyword, this content for this keyword, for them to really know. Though there are ways that you can guide them, but it doesn't mean that you have to completely stuff your content. So when you have a keyword, what you should do is allow the keyword to naturally appear. Sometimes when I'm writing my content, the keyword naturally appears in the content without even intentionally. Maybe it's when I'm even editing it, I would say, oh, this keyword appeared in the content, but sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't, please don't be concerned, especially when your when your client doesn't make that compulsory, when your client doesn't hold that as a big deal, just let it flow naturally. Your content is going to rank. Of course, there are other things I'm going to say later that will help you ensure that your content truly ranks, but never intentionally stuff your content with keyword. Never intentionally stuff your content. It doesn't make for a good reading experience. And even though it might work initially, at the end of the day, you will pay for it, or your clients will pay for it. Depends on whoever owns the blog. Will, and it won't be a good thing. Then, so moving forward, another misconceptions that a lot of people have is that SEO content is boring and it's not reader-centric. This all came from the fact that people try to stuff their content with keyword. They are not concerned about the reading experience. They just want their content to rank. They are just overly obsessed with the idea of ranking. I just want my content to rank. I just want my content to rank. So some people will tell you that if you write a content intended for SEO, then the content is boring, the content is not helpful, the content is soulless, the content is not reader-centric at all. So you get experts, especially on LinkedIn, you get a lot of people telling you that, but that is not true. That is not true, because Google has made us understand that a lot of the times that what is good for the reader is what is good for them. So if you are trying to please the algorithm and you are not trying to help the reader, you are indirectly sabotaging your SEO efforts. So a good content, an SEO optimized content should be engaging, should be interesting, and should be helpful to the reader. Because by doing that, you are also sending a signal to search into Google bots that this content is good, or the readers are enjoying this content, so they will try as much as possible to keep the content ranking. But in the case where it doesn't do that, they will derank the content. Also, a third misconception is that SEO content is generic. SEO content is generic, and I get where this is coming from, because a lot of the times you'd get people tell you that, especially as let me use myself as an example. When I newly started SEO content writing, when I newly started content writing in particular, then they will tell you, oh, go to the selves, just read the first 10 results and compress it and make it your own. That is how people used to do it then. Or you will still see people who are still doing it up to now, but that is not the proper way of doing SEO content. And because people are compressing results in the first 10 results, that Google presents to you, people compress those results, make it their own. Most of the content in search engine begin to look like, it is one person that wrote all of them. And at the end of the day, all the content sounds generic. It is not helpful to the reader. Once you read the first one, you are not okay with it. You go to the second one, it's almost saying the same thing. The reader has nothing valuable, or there is no different opinion. There's no unique point of view for the reader to enjoy. So you get a lot of people telling you that any content that you write that is written for SEO is indirectly a copycat content, but that is not true. I know. Sorry for that glitch. Okay, sorry, I lost my train of thought. So, okay, like as I was saying, you get a lot of people telling you that all SEO contents are generic, they are all the same thing. Well, that is really because a lot of people are doing copycat content. But you, as you're starting off, you might be wondering, okay, how do I avoid writing a copycat content? It's hard. That is where the real SEO work, content writing really comes in. The one that they will tell you, oh, you can write content in 1 hour, you can write content in 2 hours. That is what a lot of people are referring to. This copycat content as what they are referring to. If you want to really write content that stands the test of time, that is unique, that is genuine, and still SEO optimized, then that content takes a lot of time, takes a lot of effort, and you would see that people who create such content charge well for their content, because this content is time consuming, it is energy consuming, and you as a newbie, you might not have access to all of those clients who are willing to afford those unique, good content, and you might have to resort to that. But there are also ways that you can spice up your content to make it unique, The truth is that it might not, it might not reflect how much you're being paid, but to build authority for yourself, or to help satisfy your own conscience, to know that you're standing for what is right. You need to inculcate the habits of, even right from this beginning stage, you have to inculcate the habit of creating high quality content, going extra mile to make your content stand out from what is already existing on the search engine result page. And that is where research comes in, right? Research is where all that happens. How you do your research impacts highly on the uniqueness of the content that you produce. So some people just, like I already said, some people just relegate their research to what they see in Google, but there are various ways that you can do your research to ensure that you get unique ideas and be able to present something that is different, something that your reader will read and say, yes, this person put in effort into this content. And even your clients will be happy as well, because once your clients target audience finds the content valuable and they patronize the content, your clients will be happy and they would want to use your service again and again. So, but like I earlier said, how you research plays a huge role. And in terms of researching, there are places that you can get your ideas. There are platforms that they can leverage beside Google to get unique ideas. And some of them include podcasts, reading textbooks, interviewing subject matter experts. Those are who we call SMEs. So you have to, that means that you have to find people who already have lots of experience in this thing, because you are, like I would always say in my agency then, that a content writer is not supposed to be the custodian of knowledge in that topic, right? You as a content writer, your job majorly is just to string words together, string these ideas together and make it make sense, right? But you cannot really streamline your job as if you're just starting out. It's very hard for you to streamline your job, but again, it is left for you to do your own back-end job. And like I earlier said, you need to do research in places like with podcasts, YouTube, interview subject matter experts. I particularly like to interview subject matter experts. And by interviewing subject matter experts, I have not really, really sat down with a subject matter expert and say, okay, yeah, this is what is your experience about this topic, or give me so thing. There are platforms that you can use, such as Harrow help a B2B reporter, and so many platforms, like you can use LinkedIn as well. It could even be people that you know yourself, or if the client is even open, because sometimes these clients, they themselves have experience in this topic. They're just looking for somebody to write to themselves. So you can ask them if they are open. You can ask them if you can interview them. And like I earlier said, you don't have to engage in physical interview, Zoom interview. If you can do that, fine. You could just be you sending them a list of questions that you want them to answer, questions that you know that will make your content stand out. That is after reviewing the SERPs and the search engine result page, and you have seen the ways that the things that other people are doing wrong, or the gaps in the search engine. I'll go deeply into that later. But when you see the gaps that they have, the already existing content have, then you can leverage that and ask questions from your experts, your subject matter experts. Ask them questions, and with that you can be able to write something that is unique. Please, if you cannot hear me or there is any glitch, please let me know. Okay, so moving quickly, okay, the last part that we'll be talking about, I've talked about the 3 misconceptions. There are so many misconceptions about SEO content, but these are the 3 major misconceptions. So I'll be talking about the next point is how to optimize your content for SEO. How to optimize your content for SEO. This is the meat of the matter. If you have been following keenly, you know that I have been emphasizing on the quality of the content and not the keyword itself, right? What goes, like the research that you do for your content, the kind of information that you put into your content is what really makes up SEO content. So this is where I have problems with a lot of people who may look like, oh, SEO is one very complicated tactics and this thing that you have to do. No, I feel all that is a mirage, it's an illusion. It doesn't exist. As long as you know, as I am now, if I know a lot about how to make shoes, and I write in depth, because I already have lots of experience on how to make shoes, and I write in depth about it. I pour all my experience out into it. There is high chance that even without intentionally optimizing this content for SEO, this content is going to rank, right? Because it will already have those, that is, if all other types of SEO, all other forms of SEO, which is technically off page, are checked, there's high chance that this content is going to rank. So, but that doesn't mean that there is nothing that you need to do particularly. There is nothing that you need to do regarding the keyword that you have to ensure that this content rank. A lot of the times, these tactics that you do is just to guide the Google algorithm. It's to guide the Google algorithm to know that you want them to rank your content for this particular keyword, but you are not doing it dubiously. These are the right things that you can do, the proper thing to be done to ensure that your content gets crawled and get ranked, and you see the reward of the effort that you have put into your SEO content. The first thing that you must ensure that you do if you want to optimize your content for SEO is to ensure that you match your keyword with the search intent, with the search intent. You know, a lot of the times people, when people want to write SEO content, they just, like I earlier said, they just plug in their keyword on search engine, and they read the first 10 results, compress it and make it their own. They don't care whether this content that I want to write actually match the topic that I have in mind, or whether this thing aligns with what the reader actually wants. And because a lot of content miss this part, it is hard for the content to write. But when you do this, when you ensure that your content match the search intent, match the reason why the reader comes to the search intent, comes to the search engine and imputes that query, you would have, you know, solved your problem a huge percentage. So like I said, the first thing that you want to do is to match your keyword with the search intent. Search intent is what the reader has in mind before, you know, searching for that query. Like what you have in mind, like I earlier used the topic of the example of building a house. Like I type into search engine, how to build a house. I have something in mind. It could be that I'm ready to build a house, right? I have money to build a house. So I am looking for how to start the process of building a house. So you want to, first of all, put yourself in the shoe of the reader. I want to understand, what was this reader thinking when they plug in this search query? What did they have in mind? This reader, okay, this I want to write, the keyword is vanilla cake, a vanilla cake recipe. Why do they want to know about vanilla cake recipe? What was in their mind when they want to know vanilla cake? When they want to, when they plug in this vanilla cake, when they plug in this vanilla cake recipe query into search engine, what was going on in their mind? What do they want to know? What do they want to understand? So you must first of all put yourself in the shoe of the reader. So as a SEO content writer, the first thing you must be able to do is to learn to put yourself in the shoe of your reader. You must be able to first of all say, okay, this is this is what my reader has in mind before putting in this search query. What was their goal? What do they want to, also you want to ask yourself, what goal do they want to achieve? If what kind of answer do they want to get? Do they want that at the end of do they want to buy something after getting when they search for this query? Do they want to buy something afterwards? Do they want to know about the options that are available to them? Do they want to, you know, do they want to get become empowered to be able to do this thing on their own? What goal exactly do they want to achieve by, you know, typing this query into search engine? Also, you want to understand what does satisfaction really mean to them. What kind of answer will I give to them that would make them really satisfied? Because a lot of times you discover that this keyword that you have, a lot of people have answered this keyword in various ways. A lot of people have done, you know, answered it in various ways, and your readers have been exposed to these various answers that they have, and they were not satisfied. So they could probably be looking for a unique way, a different answer from what they have already heard before. So you'd want to ensure that you capture all that when you are researching your when you're researching about your keyword. You want to capture all that. You want to put yourself in the reader's shoe. You want to empathize with the reader. You want to know where the reader has been before, where they are, where they want to be, the goals that they want to achieve, and all that. You must be able to really capture all that. So by the time you are able to do that, you are able to explicitly state what your reader wants, what the intention of your reader is before searching that query. Then you know that you have, in fact, you have done SEO, like you are 80% done with your SEO efforts, really 80% done with your SEO effort, because there is something that some people do. They they feel that, okay, because I know a lot about this is the kind of answer I know about this kind of topic, right? I know about vanilla cake recipe. So I have been baking vanilla cakes for a long time. So I know about vanilla cake recipe. So there is this idea I have about vanilla cake recipe that I would like to share in my blog. I would like to share in my blog. So, and they'll just create content purposely to just share that idea, this recent idea that they know about, and then they try to optimize it for a particular, for that keyword that they have in mind, or that keyword that they believe that is going to gather them a lot of traffic. So they try to optimize it for that keyword. At the end of the day, if you as a reader, if the person who is searching for that query is not even interested in that new technique that you have just recently learnt about, is not interested in the research that you have made or whatever that you have done, you would have been wasting your time, despite that this thing that you have, this information that you have given is top notch, is good, is in fact, some people would really appreciate it. Some group of people, some other people might appreciate it. But when it comes to search engine, it's a different ball game entirely. It's a different ball game entirely. That you think that this information that you have is good does not mean that it is good for the reader. The reader might not think that way. That is why it's very important that you know what the search intent is. And I don't know if I've already said it, but I'll just state it again. To know the search intent of a keyword is as easy as plugging in the keyword in the SERPs it's as easy as plugging the keyword in Google, right? Just type in this. I want to write about vanilla cake now. I want to know the search intent behind vanilla cake. Of course, you can use your intuition to know what the search intent is, but sometimes this search intent can be very confusing. You can think that, okay, well, this is what my readers want to know about vanilla cake. But when you plug it into search engine, you discover that that is not what they want to know at all. That's not what they want to know. So I would quickly do, if you're following me, I would like you to view that search engine results page for that vanilla cake recipe again. So I'd like you to join me to view that. Sorry for that, please. You will notice there that there are so many, there are results here. So these results gives you an idea of what the reader wants to know about. There are so many types of search intent. They include informational search intent, transactional search intent, commercial search intent, navigational search intent. Well, I'll leave a link to resources that will help you expound on those later. But I want to quickly use this search in this results page to show you what I mean by understanding search intent via the results, Google results page, right? So you will see that the first result there says, the first result here, after those pictures, you will see that it says the best vanilla cake I've ever had. Vanilla cake recipe, that's right on the keyword. Most moist vanilla cake recipe with buttercream. my very best vanilla cake, stay moist for this, the best vanilla cake recipe, and all that. All of this all of these topics are ranking for vanilla cake recipe. So, but the next thing you would want to do, actually from here, you can actually get some ideas of what the reader wants. Actually, like you'd see with this first page here, you'd already start seeing ingredients. It means that you must have like an ingredient section for it. You must have an ingredient section for it, for your content, right? You would also see some of these characteristics that you see the second page saying made from scratch, only a handful of ingredients. Vanilla cake is perfect for any occasion, light, fluffy, and flavorful. Okay, you see this saying, you would also see pictures here. You see pictures here already. It means that there is no way that you would really want to meet the search intent for this keyword without putting pictures. And you see that these pictures are not even really, they are not some pictures gotten from the internet. They are realistic pictures that someone took, and it shows that this is from someone's experiments. Someone actually try this recipe and they took pictures. So you want to take note of all of these things. And the next thing you'd want to do after checking the results page and seeing, and noting the topic, noting the characteristics around the results that are here, the next thing you want to do is open the pages itself. So I'll open the first page. This is this Sally's Baking Addiction. If I open the first page, sorry, my network is very slow here. So if I open the first page, I would see that there is a picture of a cake here. There's a picture of a cake here. And there are even videos. I see something like my latest videos here. And it moves further. You would see more pictures. You see more pictures. You see what makes best vanilla cake. What makes best vanilla cake, and you see that all the subtopics are accompanied with pictures, which means that pictures images or very realistic images is very, very important for this keyword. Also, you will see that the topics are, the ingredients are explained here. Sorry, my network is very slow. And okay, you will also see sorry about that. My network is very slow and it's making it really difficult for me to navigate the pages. But what I wanted to do was go to the second page and also show you and compare what you're seeing in the first page with what you're seeing in the second page. You can do that for the first, I think, when you are dealing with search intent, what you should focus on in the first 3 results pages, right? The first 3 result pages, you try to see what is common between the first 3 results pages and, compare and contrast. You see the most commonest things, like in this keyword that you see here, you notice that pictures is very common. You see ingredient list is very common, and you notice the most commonest thing. It means that your content, for it to meet that search intent, has to include those things. And that is not the copycat content I was talking about earlier on. This is way different from the copycat content I was talking about earlier on. Some people do, in the disguise of, matching search intent, copy other people's content, but that is not it. But again, it means that you need to include this this these things in your content for it to meet the search intent, and you need to do it in your own unique way. So that is where the next point comes in, which is writing high next point comes in, which is writing the highest quality content on the keyword. This is still all part of optimizing your content for SEO. So by the time you've gotten the search intent, you know that, okay, this is what must be included in my content. The next thing you want to do is to ensure that okay, I'm sorry, but okay, please, have I exceeded my time? Okay, sorry for taking so much of your time, but to quickly wrap up, after you're done with your search, analyzing your search intent, the next thing you want to do is to create your content, right? Create your content, make sure that everything that you have learned along the line, everything that you have learned about the search intent and the gaps that you have noticed in the SERPs, you compress it all and put it in your content to make it stand out. And the last part actually is the part which I believe that everybody, those who stuff keywords and all that, major on, is this part of infusing your keyword. But like I earlier said, don't stuff your content with keywords. But again, you must ensure that these keywords appear in key places in your content to signal to Google bots that you want your content to rank for this keyword. You are not stuffing your keyword with content. You're not stuffing your content with keywords, but you are going to put it in strategic places to show Google that you are to point to Google bots that you want them to rank your content for exactly this keyword. And those places include your title, your URL. So if you're writing content, if you have the opportunity to publish your content, you must ensure that your content appear in your URL, your keyword appear in your URL, your keyword appear in the body of your content, and your keyword appear in the meta description of your content. So I'd just like to quickly explain what meta, just for those who don't know what meta description is. Meta description is that short summary of the content that you see in search engine results pages, like we saw about the vanilla cake the other time. You would see all those short notes that are written below the topic. So those are the meta descriptions. Sometimes it is Google that places them there themselves. Sometimes you have to write. Sometimes it is what you write that Google puts there. But when you are writing your meta description, regardless of whether Google is going to change it or Google is not going to change it, you must ensure that it has your keyword. So that is what I try to do, to ensure that my meta description has my keyword in it. So wrapping up, just to summarize everything I have said. Sorry, please. I'm experiencing some glitch, sorry. SEO content isn't as hard as people want you to believe it is. This is essentially ensuring that your content is of the utmost quality, and then there are a few tweaks here and there that you can do with your keywords to ensure that you signal Google bots that you want your content to rank for a particular keyword. So it's not as complicated as some people would want a newbie content writer to think that SEO content is. So again, content ranking is not totally the work of the content writer. Like I earlier said, there are types of SEO, the technical SEO, the off-page SEO. Once those boxes have not been checked, it is very hard for you to see results with your SEO content. So if you write a content and then it's not seeing expected results, ensure that these other types of your website does not have technical issues, and also the domain authority of the website is good enough to support the content, the keyword that you are trying to optimize the content for. Also, SEO content isn't copycat content, it's high quality and original content. SEO content isn't copycat content. Don't subscribe to copying what has already existed. Of course, you must take cue to know the search. You must try to know the search intent, but knowing the search intent is not you copying what has already existed before. Or you must ensure you must ensure that your content is unique from what has already been existing. It's adding value to your readers, and it's not regurgitating what other people have already said. Again, SEO content is 80% choosing the right topic and aligning it to the right search intent. It means that once your content is aligned to the search intent, your keyword is aligned to the search intent of the reader, your SEO job, your on-page SEO job is 80% complete. Is 80% complete. The other 20% is just to ensure that your keyword hangs is placed in key places here and there. So with that said, I think I have come to the end of this presentation. Sorry for all my back and forths, and I intended to use my system, but again, I had to improvise and be going from here to there. That is why things didn't really go as expected. I am very, very sorry. We hope that some other time we can make this better. So I talked about sharing resources. Later on, I'll do that.
Thank you, Onize. We appreciate you. That was quite extensive. Even as a writer myself, I could relate with some of the things you were sharing. Thank you so much for sharing from the heart. I've got some questions to ask. The first question I want to ask is, you mentioned something. You said that SEO writing has gotten a bad rap because of some practitioners who do not do it right. Now, I want us to look at it like this. A client approaches you and says, I want my website to rank in 3 months because I want to start making money. As a professional, what do you tell such a client?
You see, like I'm sure you'd have seen on LinkedIn, you'd hear them majorly saying that everything about SEO or everything about ranking a content is not totally in your hand. It's maybe, right? They usually use the term isn't maybe. They usually say is conditional. is conditional. There are a lot of factors that contribute to whether a content ranks at the expected time or not. So it's not totally in your hand. I am not one to, even as my agency, that will never tell somebody, oh, this is when your content is going to rank. Your content is going to rank within 2 months. Your content is going to rank within 3 months. It doesn't ever happen that way. It can happen, especially when you are targeting low volume keywords. It is when you're targeting long tail keywords with low volume, those are low hanging fruits. It's easy, those kind of content can easily rank, but again, it's not, I don't really subscribe to giving somebody a time limit and saying that this is what when your content is expected to rank. Like I earlier said, there are so many factors that can contribute to there are so many other types of SEO, which is technical SEO, off-page SEO, like the backlinks and all that. So people you are trying to outrank, they have stayed there for a lot of some of them have been there for years. So you cannot just come one day and say you want to push them out. Some of them have garnered a lot of backlinks. So have you sorted all that out first of all? Have you gotten that out of the way? Have you ensured that your technical SEO is in check? So you must first of all ensure that all of these things are put in place before you start having this dream. Just first start the dreaming of your content ranking before you say Jack Robinson. I don't know if that answers your question.
I get that. Thank you so much. I also wanted to ask, for instance, if you start a project and you notice that the page you are working on, the website you are working on is ranking on the second page of Google, what would you do to bring it to the first page where the action is?
Okay, there's so many things that you can do. The first thing you want to try to do, which means that you're not writing this content from scratch, right? You're trying to update the content, so you're trying to make sure that the content meets expectations. You first of all try to see what are those in the first page doing that I'm not doing, right? That's the first thing you must try to check. What is happening in the first page that I am not doing well? A lot of the time, it could be that your content is updated. The information you are giving is not, it's outdated. You are writing something about, you are giving 2002 trick for 2023. It will not work. So a lot of people will see your content and just bounce. So you must first, what is the problem? What is the problem with my content? Is it that my content is not in-depth enough? Is it that my content is not optimized enough? So you are not just going to start and say, oh, I'm going to delete this page and then I'll start creating another content. You must try to find out what the problem is and solve it from there.
Okay, thank you, Onize. Last question before I let you go. You've tried. What role did internship play in your career? Because I know you interned somewhere. I just want you to tell me, because our ministry caters to young people, and we advise them to take up internships, and you have gone through it. So I would like you to talk about how it impacted your career and if you will advise young people to go into it.
Oh my God. When I want to tell people about internship, a lot of people think it's a slow route, right? It's a slow route. Especially people who come to SEO content writing with the mindset that, oh, I want to make money tomorrow. It's very slow. That's just the truth. It's very slow because, okay, while interning, I came into content writing without having an idea on even how to write, because I wasn't a writer in the first place. I grew my writing skill within this time frame at all. So I wanted to be grounded. Me, I am this type of person. I'm very huge on I'm very huge on doing things the right way. I want to know the mechanism, the things, how this thing is truly done. Because I see all of those. I don't want to be a subpar content marketer. I don't want to be a super content writer. So I'd see people like Chima Memeje on LinkedIn. I'll see all of those people that are admirable. Like, how are they doing this thing? I tried on my own to learn on my own, but it was not, I was not getting the kind of knowledge that I wanted. Of course, I was getting listening to gigs here and there, but I was not even minding the gig. The gig wasn't even my, wasn't even what was on my mind. I just wanted the knowledge. I really wanted the knowledge. I really wanted the knowledge. And because of that eagerness and the enthusiasm for the knowledge, that was why I was only meant to intern for like 3 months. I ended up interning for like 6 months and then working, even getting an employment afterwards, because I was damn eager. I wasn't even concerned about what I wanted to earn. I was damn eager. That was why sometimes I'm only in content marketing for content writing or content marketing generally for 1 year, say 2 months or so, but it's more than I've learned more than all that I've learned in my 4 years in university, because I really gave a lot of time into learning. So if you are somebody who is not hungry for, who is not into this thing for money, you're not looking for a quick, rich way, go through internship if you're really hungry for the knowledge. And I really believe in being grinded, right? Being grinded. Initially, it might not look like you are gaining, because, you know, as an intern, I have to do other things that I don't even want to do. Because as an intern, you would have to do other things in the company that you don't want to do. But again, I saw the other advantage, the fact that I have access to an expert that I can ask questions anytime that I want. I have somebody to guide me through. I have somebody to tell me what to do and what not to do. I think I really, really valued that beyond money. So if you are that kind of person, if you have this kind of mindset that I have, please go through internship. And if you want to be in it for a long time, some people go into content writing as a side hustle. I just want something that I can, you know, make money with. I have other things that I'm doing. You might not want to go through all that stress, but if this is what you want to do for a long time, then you have to be grinded in it. If you feel that if you feel that self-educating yourself isn't helping you, some people, I know a lot of people who learned and got to the peak of their career by self-educating themselves. Me, I am not like that. I like handheld learning, right? So if you are like me, you value handheld learning, you want somebody to guide you through, please go through internships. Seriously advise, an internship is highly beneficial. Highly beneficial. Not a lot of people want to do it, but if you can do it, some people that I did it with, you know, a lot of us, you know, they are not at the average level anymore, and it shortens your learning curve. That's just the truth. You grow faster than you normally would. Okay, assuming I was just writing content on freelance sites, all I would have just known up till now would have still been about content writing, but I know about content strategy, content distribution, and building backlinks, outreach, and all that. It's all from, and all that, even though I am not intensely doing all that, but all that is supporting my content writing work. Now I see how all that plays out. I know how to advise the clients, all right, and say, okay, this is what you're likely to expect, this is what you're not likely to expect. So just so that you would stand out.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time this afternoon. It means a lot to us that you agreed to do this and you have shared passionately with us. The seeds you have sown today will definitely germinate and bring forth fruits to the glory of the Lord. Thank you for your time and God bless you.
So much. Thank you so much for having me, Ma. And I really just to say something. Okay, all right.
Yeah, and with that, we have come to the end of DMM 5.0. It's been the most challenging webinar so far. I won't lie, it's been the most challenging. But we give God all the glory. And DMM 6.0 will hold on May 14th. by the grace of the Almighty. Let the devil hear and go and plan. We get backing. We have a backing that is greater than any other backing. And so, see you on May 14th. And Singles Hangout also holds on April 30th. Please keep a date with us. God bless you for staying so far. For staying so far. We bless you, and the Lord also bless you. Let's have a short word of prayer before we leave this room. Our God and our King, we thank you for this opportunity. Thank you so, so much, because when we plan these things, we don't know how they will turn out. But your plan will always supersede our plan. And today, your plan was for us to delve deeply into all these topics we intended to share. And so that has happened now. We pray, Lord, that this knowledge that has been shared, as we expose it to our people, they will begin to implement and get results in their own lives and businesses and careers in the name of Jesus. That they will not watch in vain. We prophesy transformation, success, blessings into the lives of everybody that will have the opportunity of watching this recording in the name of Jesus. And Lord, we commit May 14th, DMM 6.0 into your hands, Lord. Take absolute control. Let your name be glorified. In Jesus' mighty name, we have prayed. Amen. Thank you, Right Way Consults. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Bye.